All right, guys, welcome back. Overpower Nationals Season 0. Massive prize money for the top 8 wonderful hosts in Ohio. Sims Clan are just so awesome, as is everybody at these tournaments, to be awesome. If you guys, I'm not sure if you're going to notice. You're probably going to notice right away. My dumbass had the wrong microphone picking up my sound, so it was literally just my computer hearing me, and that's why the sound quality was not wonderful. So this mic was literally just for show the first couple of matches, but I'm hoping now everybody can hear the difference, so that'll make this either a fun watch or a fun listen and less grainy on the ears. So yeah, we are in round 6, I believe. I think it's round 6. We have Erik Counts, who's an OG player, legacy, been in the game for quite a while, and then Cory himself is a veteran also, and he loves his Hawkeye, as you can see on the board there. He has pulled out a Hawkeye, and for the tournament, if he gets beat, his opponent signs it, or he signs it and gives it to them, and if his opponent wins, then they sign it and give it to him, or vice versa. I can't remember exactly, but little fun thing, getting some value out of all those Hawkeye commons. He uses him to great effect in Legacy too. He's got some fun stuff, and Cory builds off the wall decks. Very creative deck builder, very solid player. So here we go. We're getting a cut. I'm sure these guys have played against each other a million times. They're joking around, having a good time. Oh, here's the die roll. Cory rolls it off the field. It looks like a 3. I got a little screen, so it's hard to see. I think Erik wins. So he's going to side first or second. And, oh, is that DRACULA? DRACULA, Watson, Sherlock, Victory. Oh my god, I love this. It's got to be Baker Street. You can't chew on that, buddy. This is cleaner. What are you doing? So they draw their, they're about to draw their opening hands. I think they're just waiting for Joe or whoever's James to tell them it's go time. He's even got the Hawkeye sleeves. We love that. So we got a little Baker on Baker action. Cory's got Leo, Arthur, Sherlock, and Watson. I believe that's identical to Justin's deck that we just saw before. Nice little Arthur bridge between the intellect and combat. What just happened? Oh, he drew all 3 300s hand 1. That sounds about right for Cory, you know, like, he doesn't even get frustrated. He's going second, so he gets to regrow one of them, but he's just like, this is how it goes for me. Poor guy. That's just rough. That is just rough. Let's see if he can't turn this around. I think Erik has a handful of keepers. But if he even has one duplicate, they're on even playing field. I think I see a Hades. That's not a venture card, so... No, he has keepers. Looks like a Sherlock offensive negate. And Cory very comfortable slapping that Leo 8 down because he's not going to dupe on it anymore. Oh, and he has the Sherlock real negate. Erik places a teamwork, any power to DRACULA. God, I love seeing DRACULA. That's so awesome. He's going to lock down those teammate avoids from Arthur, the give them nothing avoid from Leonidas, and then all of Cory's teamworks and allies when To the Last Man comes out. So we'll see how many copies Erik has. Ooh, big ol' 8-ball on the Drac, trying to de-incentivize him being attacked. And I like that little 2 intellect on Victory, so that when he draws the draw 4, discard a power card, or an int card usable by her, draw 4, she already has the food ready to go. Cory also has a 5 for Sherlock, devastating if it hits, and then we think Victory's probably going to be the target there. Looks like they're done placing. Erik has 4 in hand, and Cory has 3. They both bid 1. Cautious bet. Erik's probably going to open with the teamwork. Yep. Goes for Arthur. So probably no To the Last Man. And Cory actually has his confusion, disorient opponent. Stop your teamwork, no chains. Deal with it. Counters with the 5 right away. I like that. Although he does have the 5 to stop it. was a nice heads-up play for Erik, keeping that in hand as soon as he saw that 5 placed. Chucks a 2 blue at Arthur. Now, that is his primary suit, so I think Cory's going to take this. He does. Feels bad to throw it, but you got to get the venture if you're trying to fight this out. He does throw the 8. And then Erik's just going to negate it off, maybe? Interesting play. Yep, he does. I guess he just wants him to burn it. It's fair. Wonder what Cory's got left in his hand. Erik has a Hades and another power card. He drew a fistful of power cards. There's a Snevin. Still 2 in hand. And he gets, they both have +2 to venture. No, Cory has +3 to venture, so he has a slight edge. And Erik plays the Hades. Doesn't want to deal with those 2 cards in Cory's hand. I don't think they're that threatening, or he would have played them. But we will see. Yep, any hero shift and the Arthur team avoid. So Erik wisely avoiding the team avoid. But with the shift, he still could have stopped something. He probably would have shifted that 8 and blocked it. So I think Cory just decided I'd rather have the leg up. And hopefully you dupe on those power cards. But all 3 of his 300s are gone. So the venture boost throughout the game, like the just bigger cards that Cory's team is bringing, are severely mitigated. He's going to hope Erik draws an 8 or a 6. I think that's a 6. I think they both have full keepers. They do. There's the give them nothing. Against to the last man, it's useless, but right now it's great. Oh, Erik goes to place his Scry 5 and goes, nope, I can't do that. The Dracula pin. Target character may not attack for remainder of battle. That is nasty. Now Cory's on the play, which is pretty big. There's his second 7, throwing it right down on Arthur, knowing he's the likely target. Sherlock 4 make an additional. Heavy is the head, so he can go fish out one of those 8s, both for offense or defense. There's 3 of them in the dead pile to choose from. And another Sherlock 5. Maybe this one he can get through, granting a card rip from hand. I see a sexy Gemini in Erik's hand, and I think he has a multi and a 7 intellect. Maybe it's a 4 or 5 multi. Can't quite tell. Erik's going to throw down an ally, Lil John. Brute Force, nice and offsuit for his build. And with the 4 multi on Sherlock and the 3 multi on Victory, both allowing an additional, Erik is actually threatening some decent counter speed here. He may force Cory to up block with like that heavy as the head and the 7 to stop these 3s and 4s, because they're going to be quite cancer to eat as a second hit. Places Little John on Dracula. That's actually an incorrect placement because Dracula is too freaking yoked for that. He has a 6, so that actually can't be placed there, but looks like neither player has noticed, so it's K. Cory places a 2 on his Sherlock, probably only running 1 copy of that, so I think he bets 1 again, and Erik bets 2. His own Lil John, going right after Sherlock. Wow, he doesn't even think about it. He trades the 5 multi for the 3 offsuit. Here's a 4 making additional. Cory is dumping his hand and making it, and a barrage of attacks. Oh. The 4 make additional followed into the 5. Cory is almost open-handed, 1 left, makes him spend the 7. If that got through, it would have been pretty game-changing here. Now, what can Erik go fish out with that sexy Gemini? He can go get one of those multis if they're blocked. He can go get the Sherlock offensive negate. I think that's all that's in his dead pile right now is that Sherlock. He's drawn so many power cards. I'm curious how thick his power card build is. He goes for the Scry 5. Seems fair. Cory could negate it, but he doesn't even think about it. Wants to save that juicy Sherlock negate for something bigger. Plus, Sherlock's relatively safe with Arthur still up. a 5, a Merlin. Can't quite see what all of Erik's options are here. I think there's a Dracula card, maybe a 5, combat, make additional, or play an additional special. It's so freaking awesome to see Dracula on the battlefield. I just love it so much. I really hope he's got 3 or 4 To the Last Mans in there. I'm glad I didn't face him with my Nats deck, because Dracula with To the Last Man would have just wrecked me. I would have had to go first and like burst him down, and I don't know if I could have gotten through all those power card defense that Erik has. Harness the Wind isn't that great against all those multis either. Erik decides to take I think that's a 6. It's the Victory Intellect power card. Might be a 5, but I think it's a 6. Which all his dudes can use. So he's got the power card and the Sexy Gemini left. Cory debating what to do now. Still got 1 in hand. He is going to unload the next 7. Arthur 4 or less to stop that ally. Cory had that plan the whole time. The follow-up is going to be one of those multis. Or the Gemini to go get the ally back. Guess is worth thinking about, but I think the multis are nastier. Make Cory spend either the Heavy's the Hedge, the Leo Team Avoid, or the Negate to start slowing him down. But Erik Sherlock is pretty thrashed. He's got 14 damage on him now. Cory can't do anything about it this hand, but next hand, all he needs to land is a 6 or greater to KO Sherlock. And Mr. Counts has seen 2 of his cards, but not that many. Yeah, he'll snap play the negate to not deal with the follow-up. Not sure what's in his... Oh, he's going Heavy as the Head, full offense. Rip the 8 to drop him. Love this play. Now, if Erik has anything other than an Intellect card in hand, he can counterattack and force the Leo Avoid. He thinks about it. He takes the 3. Love that. So he's planning on winning Venture again. Wants to stay on the play, up a card, or up a character. And Erik's looking around going, I have nothing that's not white or blue to attack with to finish him off, so I can't even threaten a kill shot. That's unfortunate. Could go back and get that ally. Probably force a concession. But then he has to waste the Dracula's pin. Yeah, big ol' 8. And now Cory runs. Interesting play. He had a lot of different options there at the end, but I kind of like dumping something from hand. Because I don't think it's enough Venture to close out, but we'll see. Now Arthur is very damaged. 13 damage, 2 colors. Anything that's not blue or a 7 or bigger takes him down. It's also interesting that Erik is even playing the 8 any power and it's not Intellect. He's got 1 or 2 Sherlock cards, got to throw them away. But, I mean, I guess the upside is against Reaper. It doesn't get taken, but the downside is you're going to see Reaper every game. So I guess it is fairly relevant to do that. But against the event that some people play where any power becomes brute force for the round, you don't want to have a whole bunch of cards that your guys can't even play. That event is just devastating. So, interesting risk reward to think about there. I mean, I guess his 6s are fine because Dracula has that big brute force, but his 7s and 8s that are any powers are no longer playable, including the 7 AP teamwork. So do a little placing back and forth. There's a combat teamwork, and I think that's an Alan Quatermain. And another negate. Stacks Sherlock up with the 2nd negate in his deck. Erik draws the Watson Peak. He drew an 8 for Dracula. He is on the play, so he can just jam that pin and force the 2nd negate. And then his Reaper has a higher chance of getting through later, maybe. There's a Brute Force power card. Kind of leads me to believe the fact that he placed it on Leo, that he has something intellect or a multi or something to follow that teamwork, because he wouldn't place it to Leo if that was the only follow-up for that teamwork. Very unlikely. Cory doesn't make mistakes like that. Erik fiddling with his missions. Oh, wow. Cory does a full place out. Hades, teamwork, and it looks like a power card. What a draw. And then that Leo 6 back there. So Cory's definitely going to go 1 and run. Erik's considering how much can I punish. And that Watson card is now completely useless unless he bets a lot, because Cory has no cards to rip. What a great play. Especially going second. He's going to try and recalculate, draw some bigger power cards to defend his dudes. Maybe his Freya or his Cataclysm. And then be able to launch counterattacks. Erik doesn't have that much speed this hand. He has the aspect, but and 1 teamwork, or ally rather. But other than that, he doesn't have a ton of speed showing. So unlike last round where he had those 2 multis make an additional, his stuff's not that threatening. I don't think he can bid more than 2 here. He's in a tough spot, and yeah, he realizes it too. He bids 2. Can't give him a card. And Cory will go 1. Oh, wow, what? Cory goes 2 and says he wants to fight. Okay. That blows my mind. Maybe trying to eat up a card or 2 and then run? But 2 makes me think he wants to fight. Maybe he's going to let Arthur die. Maybe he's fine with that. The 7. He can play the give them nothing, or he can let him die. Or the negate, I guess. He has 2 options. I totally thought Cory was going to 1 and run here and then take the card advantage. Hope Erik draws more Sherlock cards next hand. So he spends the Merlin. He spends the Merlin to get rid of the 7. Now he's thinking, I got to dump this stuff on Arthur. Let's start going after Drac. Teamwork block. Follow up to the teamwork. Curious if he just threw away Arthur here, or what the strategy is, because I guess he does have food for the other teamwork sitting on Sherlock. Erik's not going to spend that 8 to block a 3. He's going to take that one, which is offsuit. So now he can go ally into the pin, or he can drop the 8. Is that all he has? Does he have nothing in hand left? He must have had 2 Sherlock cards at the start. Now I'm starting to see why Cory did what he did. Yeah, Erik wants to KO Arthur. He's going to have to kind of not waste the pin. I mean, he can go 3, KO Arthur, or force the give them nothing, which he does spend on the 3. Interesting. Cory has very little in his deck that can stop a Reaper coming at him now, which isn't a problem for now, but it is a future problem. Interesting that he pins. No, I guess that's not that interesting. Stops the teamwork and the 6. So now Sherlock has an ally, which he will then probably go into the Hades. I think that's his only option. Make him spend the 8, or he gets 2 colors. And Erik says, I take it. They reset the missions. So he was planning on Hadesing the whole time, I think. I don't really know if it's worth it to spend all that Premier, the Merlin, and the give them nothing. But 2 hits on Dracula, if all of a sudden you draw your Arthur 9 or something and he can't stop it, you KO Dracula, it's kind of GG's. So I do see the line. I just personally probably wouldn't have done that. I think I would have ran pre-battle. Save the Hades. But, Cory knows his deck way better than I do, so. Looks like there's 1 duplicate. Looks like a 4, I think. Mr. Counts has a Sherlock Spire deck card, which is going to have to get thrown away. I don't think he's noticed it yet. Sir, Sherlock is dead. Yep, there it is. That one goes to discard pile. So, fair fight 1-1, 2 placed to Cory's 3 placed. So, Cory's up a card and a character. Both players' Hades gone, so it's legit venturing from here on out. Erik's aspect is gone, and Cory just got his, so that's +1 placement slot he's at. He plays the Drac. I think that's the negate, the weird negate that doesn't stop anything with a number. I guess he could stop the Reaper or Sherlock's offensive negate on Cory's side. Heavy's the head's been used, so I think that's pretty much it. More teamworks. And there's a multi on Leo. Another Arthur 4 or less, I think, and 2 in hand. Erik stopped placing a while ago, so Cory's up a card, and he's definitely up on placements by quite a bit. Thinking, calculating. Erik bets 1. Cory goes 2. He likes to stand his ground and fight, I'll tell you that. Even when he's up a billion place cards. He says, come at me, bro. Must have some kind of premier defense in his hand. Maybe a fairy. Maybe a Freya. Maybe he has a 7 any power, his last 7, something like that. And Erik's got a 4 make an additional, but I don't think he has any allies to launch like a huge string here. Surveying the battlefield. Gotta take Arthur down. He's already seen a lot of Arthur cards, but he hasn't seen the 7 or the 9. That +1 venture per round is pesky. And you got to keep throwing at him to get around the teammate avoids. I don't know how many Cory has. We've seen 1. But there's probably a second one in there. Maybe even 3, but I doubt it. So he's like, how do I blow up Arthur? How do I finish this dude? He plays the weird negate. Fair play. In case Cory's going to come back with a Reaper. Ooh, there's a sexy Gemini. Is he going to get him to burn it immediately? Yes, he is. Wow. Interesting. Wonder if that was a bait by Cory or what, but that was a very, very strong turn 1 play. Kind of hand the initiative back over to Cory, but in exchange he stopped the non-sexy Gemini, which would have gone back and pulled either a Leo 8 or the Give Them Nothing, or the Sherlock negate, but a 6. Will that KO Arthur? I think that puts him to 19, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think he is 19. Stack him like Pringles. Arthur's a tank. He's in full beast mode. And there's the Freya. Yep, we called that. Does he have a 3rd power card that can come from Watson? Does he? He has a multi. He's open-handed. Dump it, Erik. Dump 1 more. Although he has the Arthur 4 or less, so I don't think he can get over that. Man, Cory is quite courageous. Maybe he can. Maybe if he threw the 6 from Watson and not Victory, or was it Place to Victory? I don't remember. The 6 was from hand. Yeah, he can play the 7 from Victory. And down goes Arthur. And Erik is up quite a bit of venture this fight. Is Cory going to be able to counterattack and take out Mr. Dracula, though? Oh, 3 does not block a 4, sir. And Erik's going, ruh-roh. I finally got I finally got Arthur, but now Drac's gonna probably die. Because I think he has to spend that 8 to block it, and then he's gonna follow with the Leo 6. Which... Or no, the Sherlock 4 make additional. That'll do it. And Erik had the stop of teamwork in his hand, thinking one of those teamworks was going to come through, but excellent play by Cory. Down goes Dracula. And now he's in a real rough spot, being a max 7. Hasn't seen any of the victory avoids, and she's probably the next target because Watson was reserve. It's going to be very difficult for Erik to come back now. He really needs to draw Reaper next hand and have Cory not draw his Cataclysm. Wants to fight it out. 4 for 4. Seems fair. Erik dropping the 3 multi on probably Leo. I don't think we've seen any 8 power cards on Cory's side, so he's probably about to draw multiple of them next hand. 3 on Sherlock. Okay, sure. You've seen a lot of both their cards, so there's the teamwork. There's the stop the teamwork. But now Erik's out. There's no cards he can spy with Watson. There's nothing he can do. So he has to run because he doesn't want to take 2 more colors on one of his dudes. Wow, what a battle. Cory let Arthur go, but was able to punish by taking Drac with him. Persistent Venture Boost is still 2-2. Or I guess not still, but now it's 2-2. Oh, there's a Dracula card. Oh, there's a Dracula card. There goes the 9 for Arthur. Oh, there's a Dracula card. That's painful. And an 8 unusable. Oh no, Erik, that goes to dead pile. So for new players, when your power cards are now unusable, they do not go to the power pack anymore. You don't have to shuffle them back in to recycle them. They go to your dead pile. Hopefully that's a mistake that doesn't come back to bite him. Cory draws an ally. Think a teamwork. Maybe that teamwork was already out there. Some power cards. He's just up so many cards. Oh. Luckily, Erik got a draw 4, and he's holding a draw 3. Spicy. And he's got a negate. Where was that draw 3 or draw 4 last hand? Would have made a hell of a difference. Cory's got to be feeling pretty good here, even staring across from that draw 4. He's just up so many cards. Erik had to ditch so many. Rip Dracula. Dracula should be able to like stay out one more battle after he's KO'd or something. Vampiric blood. But no. I like Erik's deck, but I don't know how many To the Last Mans he has. I think we just saw the first one. It's like hand 4 or something. Ooh, Cory with the big bet. Bets 3. There's a draw. It's a Freya. Erik's like, okay, all right, let's dance. Have a draw 3, and a void, and a gate, and a draw 4, and a Watson peak. He needs to draw some attacks, but he could be in a worse spot after all those duplicates, that's for sure. He bets 1. Love it. A little I don't want to be here bet. 2. Cory's primary suit combat. You got to take that. Yep. 7. Offsuit. Merlin. Spends the Merlin. He plays the draw 3 before, or the draw 4 first. Now, I think this is a little mistake. A Drac card, a 5, a Drac card, and a Sherlock card. So he keeps one of them. That's unfortunate. No, you want to play the draw 3 first just because you have to throw away your duplicates. But at the draw 4, you keep your duplicates and you reveal them to your opponent. So you usually want to do your... Cory's attacking the ghost that is victory. She's trying to sidestep it. She's trying to move over. That will bring her to 1 color and something. Now she's just at 8. Spends the 5. Oh, there's a pile of attacks. Now she's at 11, 2 colors. Spends the Freya. Draw 3. Please draw something good. Just ripping through the rest of his deck. At least he got through all those dupes, so if he can survive next hand, will probably be better. Oh, and he ripped his own Reaper. Can he keep victory alive? Cory thinking about throwing the 2. Throws the 6 instead. Second color, 14 damage. I don't think there's anything Erik can do, but he can throw this 3 ally at Sherlock, try and get a second hit. But at this point in the round, Cory's dumped all his stuff, so Reaper's not that scary. And he gets rid of the any power, which is probably what Erik was going to call, so... That's a bit unfortunate on the timing. I guess if he did it the way that I said he should have, then he would have shown him the Reaper. But I think it's irrelevant. Just pretty rough to draw 7 and still lose the hand. And lose a character, because... Yeah, he calls any power, and then that 2 comes across and kills victory. Oh, he has an 8 in hand, even better. Should have called Intellect. Rip. But how was he to know? He counterplays with the 1, and it's blocked. Victory's dead, down to Watson only. Erik shaking his head like, how did this happen? How did this get away from me? Dracula going down was, I think, the pivotal moment when Cory decided, no, we're going to fight. I'm going to let Arthur go to take out Dracula. Heads up play by him. And Mr. Counts is a few cards into his power pack. He didn't shuffle them. Oh, he's taking them back to shuffle. There we go. See, now this is why you want to throw your 8s away when all your 8 rankers are dead, because now if he draws that 8, he has to lose it once again when he shouldn't have had to recycle that one. 1 Arthur card and a duplicate 8. Yep, there come those 8 power cards. All at the bottom of Cory's deck. All 3 300s the first hand and all 3 power cards in the last 2 hands. That's kind of rough. But he's managed to fight his way through the bad luck anyways. Good players can do that. Duplicate 6, I think that was. Couple duplicates are unusables. Still going to power pack, not quite sure. I didn't see what they were, so. And Erik has his back against the wall. Cory bets 3 for the win. Takes a card. It's another 6. Unusable 6. Should go to dead pile. Okay, I'm going to stop now. Forgot to move his missions last round. Down they go. Now he bets 2. 2 for the euchre. Always bet 2 if your opponent's going for the win, because either you lose the game, or if you win the hand somehow, you want to be as many missions as possible. Erik picks up that card, which has been placed to his Watson the whole game to read it. What is this? Oh yeah, this is a good one. Got to show him two. Show him your crappiest two cards, because Cory's gonna discard one. Shows him a 4 and a 3. A 4 and a 5. He's gonna counter spy. That card's pretty good. And there's the fairy. Four teamwork at Watson. Blocks with a 4. Can't let him die. Follows with a 1. That's annoying. Takes it. Follows with a, I think that's a 7. Watson can't stop those. He throws his own 7 back to tie the venture, 9-9. The offensive Sherlock negate to get rid of it. And there's a 6. Cory wins by 1. What a game. What a game. Like I said before, I think Dracula going down and Cory deciding to sacrifice Arthur, that was the pivotal choice of the match. Both great competitors. Both kind of had weird draws. Like, Erik didn't get many of Drax cards until he was already gone, which is just very, very unfortunate. And then Cory having all 300s at the beginning, first hand, and all 3 of his power cards at the bottom. And his fairy at the bottom also. So, yeah, what a game. That was awesome. I definitely like both their decks. Mad respect to Erik for bringing Dracula. I think that's so cool. I'd like to see his list. I think it could be could add another To the Last Man or 2 in there. I mean, he kind of had to go power card heavy to protect Drac. I don't know how many Victory Avoids were in there, if any. Maybe he's thinking like everyone will go after Victory and try and play around the teammate avoids, but I think you got to at least include 1, maybe even 2, to help keep Drac alive. Because if Sherlock goes down, it's not the end of the world. You can run him lean and mean. He's kind of your backup 8, your support 8. But Dracula's the linchpin of the team, so you got to find ways to keep him up and keep him alive. But very creative deck. Cory's deck's awesome too. Great players, great match. And we're off to the next round. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like.